Limpopo, that's north of the country, and we're talking to the Premier, Stan Matabata, about the state of the province, some of the issues that he's facing, some of the successes of the last 20 years of democracy, and looking into the future as well. And we're going to start taking questions from you via Twitter at SABC, at Morning Live SABC, and hashtag TNA BizBrief as well. We'll pick up your questions. But let's start also getting questions from the audience that's here and to see what is on their minds as well. And we start on table number 23, and it's Mutapo Walter. Where are you? Table 23, I think. You have a question from the Premier. For the Premier. There we go.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you very much, Premier. Well, Premier, when you assumed office, you talked strongly about clean governance. Can you please tell us what practical steps have you taken so far? And secondly, what are you going to do with the mining potential of Limpopo? How are you going to unleash that, especially in the area of platinum? Thank you.
Okay, so two things. What have you done about purging bad governance and making it cleaner, as it were, and mining?
Yes, as you would notice, Peter, we have already stated that immediately when we came in, we had to look at the home bodies that are there. We had to look at the systems that were there and check as to whether the systems were responding to the ideals that we want to see as a government, more especially when it comes to corporate governance and clean governance. And we realized that there were a number of investigations that we needed to enter into, and we went into those investigations. That is why we ended up charging more than 300 people. Some of the people have already left the public service. Some of them are going through the hearings, public hearings now. Somebody was actually saying to me that, look, about half of your HODs are now suspended, including the Director General. What does that imply? I asked that person, why do you think I'm here? You know?
So the mining question?
The mining, I think our MEC for Economic Development is here. Perhaps if he could be allowed to give us the plans, because I know there is a plan that...
Okay, where's the MEC for Economic Development? If we could get a microphone, MEC, if you could stand up, and also if you could just tell the nation who you are, so that you can never hide. And tell us your plans. How are we going to get more out of the mining sector?
Thank you. I'm Siaparo Sukwati, MEC for Economic Development, Environment and Tourism. What we're looking at is we have realized that we are actually endowed with a lot of mineral resources, particularly in Dubatse area, in Skukune, in Lephalale, but also in parts of Mopani and the Soutpansberg. And what is happening is that we are actually looking at in Skukune, you'll realize that the potential has been hampered by the lack of water as a resource that you need in mining. And the building of the Hoop Dam is actually going to unleash that. But also in terms of the infrastructure development, if you look at SIP1, which is talking about unleashing the economic potential in terms of the mineral resources, that is also going to assist in terms of ensuring that the infrastructure in those areas is actually developed so that it's able to match what we actually need, particularly in the industry. You look at Lephalale as well, the same in terms of infrastructure. And the moment you start unlocking the infrastructure, you are then able to unleash the potential that is there within the mining sector.
All right.
Now, the plans are there all we need is to ensure that we've got enough people, human resource in terms of skills and so on, to ensure that it's not only the mining or the exploitation, but it's also about the development of our communities.
Okay. Is the MEC for Education here?
Yes.
Where's the MEC for Education?
Here is the MEC for
All
Education.
right. Can we get a microphone for the MEC for Education? Now that we're on the issue of, we're talking to our MECs. MEC, if you could just stand up so the camera can pick. Is the camera picture up? Yeah. Textbooks. That's been an ongoing theme in this province. I think it's certainly not like before, but we are getting reports that you had some textbooks not delivered this year. And in fact, I think the DA says that they went to a warehouse where there were textbooks that were in a warehouse still undelivered. What is the situation?
Thank you, Peter. Let me start off by saying we've got programs that we are following. For this financial year, for this school year, 2014, we're to deliver the textbook for grade 12, grade 10, grade 7, grade 4 and 3. The textbooks that we are talking about, which actually are purported to be outstanding, are the textbooks that should have been bought in 2012, which they were never bought. And the textbooks that were supposed to be bought in 2013, which never happened, because like the Premier has indicated, there were gross mistakes which happened in government. So those are the textbooks that we can say the schools are having a challenge around. But the other problem that we are having is that our school principals, our parents, do not bring back, the parents do not urge the learners to bring back the textbooks because we've got a retrieval system. The life of a textbook is 5 years. So if the textbooks have been bought in 2012 or 2011, they still have to be there. So we're doing now top-ups to make sure that we cover even the year that the textbooks were never delivered because there were gross mistakes which were made. So we would say, in terms of this year, 2014, everything has been delivered. You spoke to the books that were found in Sikukune. Remember, we've got quotas that we are dealing with. On a quarterly basis, we make sure that we take the books to the districts so that the principals can have easy and close access to those. Those are the second quarter workbooks, and some of them are the books that are used by the subject advisors to be able to keep on continuing, just going around the schools and assisting the educators in that respect. So the college that they are speaking about, that is the warehousing when it comes from the main warehouse for the principals to have closer access to those because they had to start using them this past Monday of the 7th. Thank you.
Okay, MEC, thank you very much indeed. All right, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue with our conversation, getting your questions from here and also via Twitter. Stay with us.